care about anything but me. Yes, I just love him cause he's so crazy, just crazy about me.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love my ugly boy, so rough and tough, don't care about anything but me. Yes, I just love him cause he's so crazy, just crazy about me.
Everything that I'm about to tell you is a lie.
You are about to get pummeled with links and commentary and revelatory oh my godness of enormous amounts, all in relation to this new documentary, Hypernormalization. Every new ager, every sanctimonious prick who posts inspiring memes on your Facebook wall, every woke ass nigger, every conspiracy tard is going to be all over this. Every Russell Brand like commentator and social idiot is going to be all over this. This is going to be the new loose change. At the heart of it, there's going to be nothing revelatory here, nothing we don't already know. It's not going to awaken a lot of people because, as it points out, we already know politicians lie. We already know corporations are trying to bilk us for money. The problem is people don't care, and this is not going to make any difference to the fact that people don't care. The only thing that ever seems to make a difference to people, to make them actually care, is to take their toys away. And that's it. You know, it's only when the cost of continuing as you are outweighs the benefit of continuing as you are that things change. And even then, they often change badly. We only need to look at Brexit to see that, especially now that it's come out that it's very correlated that the areas in which austerity hit hardest were very much more strongly in favour of Brexit. The very areas that are now going to be hit hardest by Brexit. People are uninformed, yes. People are in their own echo chambers, yes. Money concentrates in the hands of the few, yes. But everyone operates basically on their own self-interest. There are always outliers. There's no need for a conspiracy. All there is need for is people acting in their own self-interest, for an easy life, for things to keep going along, for them to be able to focus on what they need day to day, you know, their needs, their survival. And it's only when those things are threatened that we're going to see any major change. Even this shit show of an American election, all it's done is made people pick sides. Very few people are looking at the system and saying, is this the best we can do? And those that are being harangued by both sides. What can you do? There's no winning. There's nothing new in this documentary. Nothing revelatory. Nothing that's going to make any difference. It'll be a lot of sound and fury, an excuse for people to claim that they are better off and more aware than everybody else, and still nothing will change until there's some kind of enormous crisis, and even then things may not change for the better. Sorry to be a cynic, but that's the way it is. The boiling frog story is apocryphal. It's not real, but it's a useful metaphor to describe how things are. Until you reach crisis point, most people are happy to bumble along and cope until it reaches that tipping point. So until there's a superstorm that wipes out the eastern seaboard, or New Orleans finally becomes the new Atlantis, nobody's going to really make a move on climate change. Oh, they'll fiddle, they'll have their little treaties, and they'll kick it down the decades ahead for, you know, real meaningful change to be done. By then it's going to be possibly too late, you know, or much more expensive than it would be to take action now. And so it goes with other things. Economics, we're in a huge state of flux there. You know, jobs have become pointless in many cases. Pointless, stupid, do nothing jobs. And even those are being taken away by automation, by algorithms, by robotics. by new ways of organizing things socially. So you look at disruption today, like ebooks and MP3s and Lyft drivers and all the rest of it. That's the thin end of the wedge. Truckers are going to lose their jobs because that'll be automated. Even Lyft drivers will lose their jobs because cars will be automated. 3D printing in homes will annihilate manufacturing of anything but the most complicated and largest of structures. This is the way it's gonna keep going. So much disruption, everything's going to change. But until we reach crisis point, until that happens, nobody's going to look at the alternatives or think about how to cope with it, because they're invested in the system as it is. And there's no need for a conspiracy for this, just people acting in their own short-term interest. So if you want change, you need disaster, or you need a fundamental shift, not only in people's paradigm of understanding reality, but in humanity itself. Things we don't have control over, things that most people don't have control over, because to exercise our conscious mind over our unconscious impulses is difficult. It takes effort. And how many people have that amount of effort to give? How many people will even make the effort to stay friends with people they disagree with on social media, to go out of their way to explore other people's points of view rather than the self-confirming echo chamber of people who agree with them politically and socially and economically? And even if you do choose to go out of your way to try and find people who disagree with you, odds are they're going to shut you out anyway because you disagree with them. We know what we need to do, and we don't do it. This isn't going to wake anybody up. It falls into the same trap. It constructs a new illusion for people to buy into over the one that we're being sold. In that way, it's no different to any other conspiracy theory. It's no different to Black Lives Matter blaming white supremacy, or radical feminism blaming the patriarchy. It's just overlaying a new delusion over the old one in order to cope, in order to feel important, in order to feel like you're doing something. And all the while, society grinds on with the same inertia it's always had. If you want to do something, do something. Most people won't. And there's less and less room for anyone to carve out their own society, their own way of being. Pretty negative, I guess, but it is Monday. Zang. If you like what I do here, please like, subscribe. You can find me on social media, on Twitter at Grimachu, James Desborough on Facebook, James Grim Desborough on G+. My main website is postmortemstudios.wordpress.com. If you want to help me out with a little money, which will go to support my games, writing and other projects, you can do so at Patreon, which is also Grimachu.